There are settings inside your Etsy shop right now costing you sales, and most sellers have no idea they even exist. This video is going to fix all of that, expose every single one, and get your shop working the way it should. I'm gonna start with one that is costing you real money. I'm talking about a fee coming straight out of certain sales you make. A fee you never agreed to on sales you worked hard for, and Etsy collects automatically. And once you hit a certain threshold, you can never turn it off. And that is setting number 1, off-site ads. Etsy promotes your listings on places like Google, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and other platforms. And if a sale comes through one of those ads, they take a percentage of that transaction. But here's what Etsy isn't making obvious. Once your shop hits over $10,000 in sales, enrollment is no longer optional. So you can't opt out of this ever. So I want to show you what this looks like in real life using my own shop. In the last 30 days, off-site ads brought me $8.14 in sales, and I paid 98 cents in advertising fees. So I paid less than $1 to make $8. And that's the thing nobody talks about when it comes to selling low-cost digital products on Etsy. The fees sound scary until you do the actual math. Etsy promoted my product for me. Those ads got clicked 64 times. 2 people bought, and it cost me less than a cup of coffee. And one of my students even had a similar experience. She said a customer found her through an offsite ad and placed 6 orders at one time. Etsy took their fee, and she said, I don't care. And that's because she still came out way ahead. So this setting isn't something to panic about. It's simply something to understand. Now to find this, you are going to go into your shop manager, you're going to click settings, then offsite ads. Then from there, you can click into your stats to see exactly what you've made versus what you've paid. Do the math for yourself before you make any decisions. This might be a setting worth keeping on if you're under $10,000 in sales. Now let's talk about setting number 2, message to buyers. Now this one won't cost you money directly, but it could cost you something just as valuable, your reputation and repeat buyers. And I see this one done wrong constantly. So you're gonna head to your shop manager, click settings, click info and appearance, and then scroll down. So here you're going to find 2 separate fields sitting right next to each other. So this one says message to buyers, and then the other says message to buyers for digital items. So most sellers either leave these completely blank or they write some type of generic message like, thanks for purchasing, message me with any questions. And then they never think about this again. Now here's why that's a problem. These 2 fields show up in completely different places, and they serve completely different purposes. So right here we can see the message to buyer shows up on the receipt page, and in the confirmation email, buyers get immediately after purchase. So this is the first thing they see after they hand you their money. This is prime real estate, and most sellers are wasting it. Now the message to buyers for digital items shows up on the download page, and that's where your buyers go to actually access their files. This is the moment they are looking for instructions, looking for reassurance, looking for anything that tells them what to do next. Now let me show you the difference between doing this the right way and the wrong way. I bought from a seller recently, and her message said something like this, and I'm gonna paraphrase it. Hey, thanks so much. Your files are ready to download. Here's exactly where to find them. And if you run into any issues, I'm always happy to help. And then she dropped a discount code for future purchases right in this message. So that one message did 3 things. It answered the number 1 question people have before they even have to ask. It prevented a support message, and it planted the seed for a repeat sale. Compare that to a seller whose entire message was, thank you for your purchase. Feel free to reach out with any questions. There's no download instructions, no next steps, nothing. And I guarantee you that seller is getting unnecessary support messages from confused buyers. So here's what to put in each field. Your message to buyers should thank them warmly, let them know their download is on the way, and if you have a discount code or a related product they might love, let them know about it. Your message to buyers for digital items should tell them exactly where to find their files, how to access a Canva template if that applies, and what to do if something isn't working. So you set it up once, it works for every single order forever, and there's absolutely no reason to leave these blank. Now let's move on to setting number 3, your shop announcement. And this one could cost you a sale that was basically already yours. So if you go into your Etsy shop manager, you're going to click settings, then click info and appearance. This is where you will see your shop announcement. Now, I want you to ask yourself one honest question. Is it actually doing work for you? So Etsy moved the shop announcement a while back, so it no longer sits at the top of your shop. You'll find it below your listings and reviews. And one thing I hear people saying is that if people have to scroll so far down your shop, does the shop announcement even matter anymore? And here's why I believe it actually does, and it probably matters a lot more now. The buyers who scroll all the way down to that section of your shop are seriously considering buying from you. They are just doing their due diligence. They want to know who you are, and they want to know that they can trust you. Those are the signs of a repeat buyer. So a generic welcome to my shop in your shop announcement is a missed opportunity. What you need is a clear value bomb, a bundle discount, a reason to stay in shop. That is what is going to convert a browser into a buyer. So you do not want to just leave this section blank or write something generic like, welcome to my shop, I hope you find something you love. That's not really an announcement, that's just more of a greeting. And it's not really doing anything for your sales. So let me show you what it looks like when you use this section intentionally. In my shop, my announcement does 3 things. First, I lead with what I sell and how I can help them. Then I include a bundle discount. So I let them know if they buy 3 products, they can get 30% off. And then I end with a clear value bomb, letting them know why my products are going to make their life easier and better. This announcement is working while I sleep. Every single person who scrolls down this far in my shop sees a reason to buy, and I'm giving them a reason to buy more than just one product. This field is free, it's always there, and so many of your competitors are ignoring it, so do not be like them. All right, next up we have setting number 4, listing order. Now, this is one of those things that seem small until you realize how many people are landing on your shop and leaving without buying anything. So in your shop manager, you are going to click settings, then you're going to click your shop. When you scroll down, you'll see a field called listing order. And for most people, this is set at most recent, which I think is the default. But here's where that becomes a trap. Most recent means Etsy is just going to show the listing that you published most recently. So this isn't based on what people are actually pulling out their credit cards and buying from your shop. So if you listed a product last Tuesday that doesn't have any views or sales, that is the first thing a buyer will see, especially if you don't have any featured listings at the top of your shop. You do not want to have your best-selling products buried on row 3 of your shop page. So what I prefer to do is change the listing order to custom, and I go into my shop and rearrange my listings based on my best-selling products. You want to lead with your most proven products that are going to make someone buy. So these are the listings that already have social proof. They have strong listing photos. They have a track record of converting strangers into buyers. You want to let your best work be the thing that people see first. Just like a physical store puts their best-selling products in the very front of their shop, you want to do the same thing. Okay, then we have setting number 5, sold listings. Now, many sellers have no idea this even exists. So this is also located in the Your Shop section of your settings. You're just going to scroll down and you're going to see a setting called sold listings. By default, Etsy sets this to visible. So that means right now, anyone visiting your shop, including other Etsy sellers, can see your products that have been sold the most times. So to say that another way, your competition can land on your shop, see your best sellers, see which listings have the most traction, and use that information to create a nearly identical product to yours. So you did all the work of finding what buyers actually want, and Etsy is just handing that information to everyone else for free. And maybe there are some customers looking at your sold listings, but that's not typically how people shop. Most people actively doing that are other sellers doing competitor research. So you're pretty much getting zero benefit from having it on. And the downside is you're handing your best performing product data to your competitors. So the fix takes about 2 seconds. Go to your shop settings, find sold listings, and set it to hidden. Your buyers won't notice and your competition will lose their free shortcut. All right, now let's get into setting number 6, GPSR. And this one is going to be new information for a lot of you because the details still aren't crystal clear, which is why I haven't really talked about it, but it's important enough for me to mention. So if you go into your Etsy shop manager, click settings, then options, you're going to find a section called Choose how you sell to GPSR states. So GPSR stands for General Product Safety Regulation. It's a European Union law that went into effect December 2024. And if you're a US-based seller like me, there's a good chance you've scrolled right past this without even caring about it. So here's the simple version of what this means. The EU tightened up product safety and labeling rules for items sold to buyers in European countries. So non-compliant listings can be removed without notice. Now here's where it gets a little murky and there's a lot of confusion out there. Etsy's own help center states that GPSR applies to both physical and digital products. However, many compliance experts and legal sources say that simple digital downloads like PDFs, printables, and templates are generally not in scope since the regulation was designed primarily for physical consumer products. So the honest answer here is it's still a gray area and the information is still evolving. But here's what I want you to do regardless. That section in your Etsy settings gives you a clear choice. So you can sell your digital items to EU buyers or you can opt out entirely. So I want you to go look at it, do your research about what it means, and make your decision either way. If you sell low-cost digital downloads like I do and you don't want to deal with the uncertainty, you can just opt out. But if you want to keep selling your digital downloads to EU buyers, which is the option I have chosen, then you can opt to stay in, and I haven't had any issues with this. But the point is, this setting exists, it has real implications, and most US sellers have never even seen it. But okay, enough about that. Let's move into setting number 7, renewal default. Now this one is less about a technical setting and more about your mindset as a seller. So when you scroll to the bottom of any of your Etsy listings in the settings section, you're going to see renewal options. So you have 2 choices here. You have this automatic or you have manual. Now, automatic simply means Etsy will automatically renew your listing for you every 4 months for 20 cents. Manual means that after 4 months, your listing will expire and you will not be able to make any more sales of that listing unless you go in and renew it yourself. So I see many new sellers choosing manual simply because they're nervous. They think, well, if this product isn't going to sell, I don't want to have it keep renewing. And I completely understand that. But what typically happens is that life gets busy, you forget to check, a listing expires, and you never even notice. Meanwhile, someone searches for exactly what you sell, and your competitors' listings are still showing up because they have automatic renewal. I need you to remember that Etsy SEO takes time. A listing can sit for 2 years building up views, favorites, and click history. And I'm saying this from example. I had a product that barely made any sales for 2 years, and then it randomly became a best-selling product, making me multiple hundreds of dollars a month from that one product. So if I had that set to manual renewal, I could have missed out on that opportunity because I likely would have forgot to renew it in the chaos of life. And I see people running into this same trap with seasonal products. They think their Christmas planner won't start selling until October or November, but they're missing all of the sales from people who start planning in July and August. That's why I leave my seasonal products up year round. Now here's a caveat. If you are someone who lists a product, check your stats every day, and when you see that you're not getting the views you think you should have, you're ready to quit, then you probably want to do manual renewal. And that's because you've pretty much already abandoned this process if you're so eager to quit in the beginning. But if you are serious about making money on Etsy and you don't care how long it's going to take you, you know that you are making money for your family and this is the way you're going to do it, then I recommend you stick with automatic renewal. At 20 cents every 4 months, you're paying less than $1 a year to keep this listing alive. That could possibly become your best-selling product. So set your listings to automatic, stay in the game, and give your products the time they need to work. Now, going through and fixing these 7 settings is not going to make your Etsy shop blow up overnight. But if you leave them the way they are, you could likely stay stuck. And if you're ready to take this a step further so you can have a shop that actually makes sales without you paying for ads or posting on social media, the link to join us in the sales sprint is in the description. But I also want to share with you one of the fastest ways to make sales on Etsy, and you'll see that in this video right here. This is something many sellers completely overlook, and it could be one of the reasons your shop isn't making the sales that it could make. So click the video on your screen and I'll see you over there.